Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are listening to the most electrifying podcast in all of internet radio today. You are listening to the Sports Wire, day number 8 in a row, and I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you all for downloading. As you all know, we have moved over to Anchor.fm in terms of hosting our podcast, well, my podcast, and distributing it everywhere you can find your favorite podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, so on and so forth, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Radio Public, Overcast, Castbox. So there, you can listen to it anywhere. With that being said, today we've got a doozy for you. The Twitter world was abuzz today, up in arms, and I mean up in arms from this morning all the way until even now. All right, so there's a wrestler who is part of NXT, okay? His name is Jordan Myles. Apparently he was in Ring of Honor, known as ACH. I had never heard of him, and honestly the only picture I've ever seen of him, at least who I thought it was on NXT this past week. Either on NXT or I want to say it was on the internet somewhere. And it was a picture of him holding a microphone. Okay, he's an African-American guy. He's a black guy. You know, I've never seen him wrestle. I can't comment on that. With that being said, WWE released a t-shirt. Now, before this, okay, I have not known much about him. Okay? His name is Jordan Myles, like I said, and he went by ACH in Ring of Honor. Okay, he was signed to the WWE back in January of this year, and apparently on the September 4th episode of NXT, he faced Adam Cole. I didn't see it. I don't know. Now, a couple of months ago, or a month ago, WWE released a shirt for Jordan Myles. Mauro Ranallo is always pointing out smiles for Myles. I guess he's a really happy guy. He smiles a lot. Which is, you know, he's a baby face, so I'm sure that, you know, that holds true. And he's, you know, I've never met the guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy, you know, fan friendly. Anyways, they released a shirt, an NXT custom tees shirt, which custom means you could have it put on any color shirt. They just happened to put it on a black shirt, and it was a pair of lips, red lips, and the word Jordan Myles in white on the front of the shirt. Now, caused a lot of controversy. Why? Well, you ever heard that joke? And I'm not going to repeat it because it is a racist joke. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, there's a joke that pertains to seeing black people in the dark. You know, and I'm not going to condone that kind of joking because I don't. It's hurtful and it's stereotypical. And in this day and age, so many people are sensitive to stuff like that. And I get it. Okay? So, it said the word Jordan Myles. And it looked like a mouth and Jordan Myles were the teeth because they were written in white. So, Jordan Myles goes on this rampage saying, is this what you guys think of me and how you represent, you know, African Americans and Triple H, you know, he's tagging Triple H and Vince McMahon and everything. And he's going, and he's like, I will not stand down until this gets fixed, whatever. Today, WWE pulled the shirt. Okay, it's been on the market for a month. And honestly, they're just really promoting the logo because you could have it put on any color. And what would have happened if his name was in blue or yellow or whatever? Gold, you know? But the fact is it was in white. Okay? Now, he's up in arms. And the Twitter world is abuzz. Saying, oh, this shirt is so racist and this and that and the other thing. Okay? It was not racist. And the reason why I say that is racism, in my opinion, encompasses intent. You're intentionally saying something stereotypical because of whatever reason, because of hate, because of stereotype, because of whatever. And you're saying it with the intent to harm. Okay? This was an unintentional, it was in poor taste. It was an ugly shirt too, you know, and Honestly, I did put out there originally that I thought he was a manager because that's the only time I saw him was with a microphone, and I said, well, he's a good talker, so it's a mouth. Okay? Remember back during the Attitude Era, they had Mr. Ass shirts with the lips and it said Mr. Ass? Okay, different color schemes, of course. But people are jumping out of their skin because they're comparing a black shirt with a mouth on it with white lettering to blackface, which is just makeup. Okay, this society has gone so far in one direction where everybody's looking for a reason to say racism. Everybody's looking for a way to, say they're being discriminated against or somebody's buying into a stereotype. Okay? The shirt itself was in poor taste. It was an ugly shirt. But to say it was put out there because of, a bias against African American wrestlers is absolutely ridiculous. And that's all there is to it. I don't buy that narrative. And actually, the WWE did release a statement a few hours ago stating that Jordan Myles had actually approved the shirt. Last month, he was approached, he saw the concept, and he had approved it for them to sell it. And he was okay with them selling it. So, in my opinion, he waited until now. He's trying to get fired or get his release or whatever. But he, just now waited a month and now he's putting up a big stink. Saying, I knew this shirt was on sale and I couldn't sleep right, because of it. Since that time. Dude, you approved it. You approved it. You could have said, really? You could have said you couldn't have done any better than that. And it's just taken a mind of its own. To the point, there are people who are saying, oh yeah, that's garbage, racism and stuff. A lot of people, and there's people on both sides of the spectrum, and unfortunately, the ugliness of today's society and how split we are in terms of racial tensions, of course, thanks to Barack Obama, okay, has now gotten into the wrestling industry. Everybody started first with Kofi Kingston losing the title to Brock Lesnar in 10 seconds on the debut of SmackDown a month ago on Fox. And everybody's like, oh yeah, that just shows, they're so racist against Kofi. That's garbage. Kofi Kingston, okay, he's been there, he paid his dues, he got his title run. I don't like Brock. I don't think Brock should have the title, especially if he's a part-timer. I'm hoping he loses to King Velasquez on Thursday at Crown Jewel. But, loses the title. But, at the same time, I really feel that, it wasn't part of racism. It was just a part of shaking things up, at that point. It's like Kofi has gone against all these challengers. Here comes Brock. Brock is so powerful, and he beats him in 10 seconds. And the bigger story was Brock versus King Velasquez, and Kofi was unfortunately just a pawn in the a cog in the wheel or whatever. And then this shirt comes out. The guy wanted his 15 minutes of fame. He got his 15 minutes of fame, and honestly, that's all there is to it. That's it. But I do want to go. I finally did get to watch SmackDown today, and I will. And I do want to go over SmackDown and give a quick review of that. Okay, I am back. And again, thank you for tuning into the Sports Wire. Thank you for your downloads, your listens, and everything involved. So, WWE SmackDown from Friday night, it was on FS1. It finally got released onto Hulu tonight, so I was able to watch it. However, with that said, it was good. I did happen to enjoy seeing Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar on the show. Brock attacked Dominic again and really built up this match on Thursday at Crown Jewel in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I think it's going to be a great card. I really do. For those of you out there that feel like boycotting them shows because you don't agree with WWE doing business with Saudi Arabia, listen. It's your prerogative. It's your opinion. It's your choice, whatever. You can choose what you want, obviously. But here's my thought process. Number one, okay, WWE never had anything to do, number one, with the government deciding to kill the allegedly kill the reporter, which, they came out, they said they did, so that's we're going to have to take them at their face value. But see, here's the deal, okay? They don't go there. Now, they're going there to make change, and I get that. But and they're being paid for, the shows are being paid for in a 10-year contract by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But here's the thing, okay? They're not going there to perform for the government. They're not going there to perform for these dignitaries and these people that are up high in the government. They're going there to perform for the fans. And that's what people don't seem to understand. You can't take it away and take it out on the fans because the government are pieces of garbage. And the government does stuff that's dumb and hurts the people. If that was the case, they shouldn't have been performing in the U.S. while Obama was president. Because he hurt America. You know what I mean? But with that said, I look forward to the card on Thursday. Team Hogan and Team Flair are all set. And the main event, Roman Reigns, Ali, and Shorty G, Chad Gable. They defeated two members of Team Flair, King Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura, along with Cesaro in a 6-man tag. Great match. I look forward to the actual 10-man tag at Crown Jewel. Also, I look forward to Nikki Cross facing Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship when she does, because that's going to be a great match, and maybe Nikki Cross will take the title from Bayley. Although, I do feel that Bayley has a lot going on right now, and if you take the title off of her, it'll hurt her. She's someone that needs the title to help build her heel character. Her heel turn, quote unquote, had been in the works for a long time, and she finally did it because she was showing heel tendencies, by buddying up with Sasha after Sasha's heel turn and everything, and her temper tantrum and stuff, and she was a little bit more, little more off-putting. Let me put it that way. But she still had her gimmick. I'm a hugger, the Bayley Buddies, until she finally got rid of those Bayley Buddies. And that is what cemented her heel turn. And that was absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And then her getting the title. She needs that title. Nobody else does right now. Nikki Cross, had the tag title run with Alexa Bliss. And she's, got her name made. She's going to be fine. But I really feel like Bayley needs that title to build her character up right now. Let's see. Moving on. We're looking at the tag team turmoil match on Thursday for the best in the world. It's just a tag team gauntlet. It's not an actual tournament, just a gauntlet match. And I think it's going to be great. Although I want to find out where are the Usos. Maybe they'll make a surprise return at the end at Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel. Because I haven't seen them. And I know one of them got arrested for DUI or whatever back in, July. So I would assume that his burial has got to be over by now. So I want to see the Usos back in action and on Raw to help with the tag team division. Because that's where they should be. Finn Balor turned heel on NXT. I already went over that, and I think that's a great move for him. But I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading SportsWire. Now we're in our daily podcast format. I think it's a great job. Go ahead and listen to Total Engagement with Matt Kuhn. He doesn't need any promotion from me. However, I do want to promote two podcasts that I've recently come across. The first one is Memory Lane, hosted by Bubba Collins and his friend Troy. Great show. If you want some legitimate sports news and sports insight, Go seek that out. Memory Lane Podcast, again, available wherever you find your local podcasts. And then the other one is called Pang, P-A-N-G. Pang is a great show. It's kind of like a throwback to a radio show, a radio documentary program, like a radio sitcom, like it used to be back in the 50s, 60s. It kind of reminds me of, there's a show on Christian radio. I can't remember the name. I used to hear it all the time. It was produced, and it was similar to this. But anyways, Pang is out of Los Angeles. The gentleman's name is Dan Fruit. He and his team work towards putting a spotlight on people who struggle with, what was the term they used? It wasn't hunger, it was food insecurity. And, he wants to put over the whole idea of, SNAP needs to be more federally funded and these programs. And, the first episode that I listened to was about a family in LA that while they were on SNAP, it was 11 people in a house. There was the uncle, it was the niece, and her 9 kids. Keep the judgment out of it. I'm leaving my judgment out of it, because normally I would say something to the point of, well, you have 9 kids, you should, and be something negative. But I'm not going to do that, because things happen. Number one, not all pregnancies are planned, number one. Number two, we don't know the situation behind that. She could have been in an actual, in a loving marriage and the father passed away. We don't know the whole story. The fact is, we know the uncle, the niece, and her 9 kids lived in the house. And he was trying to make ends meet. He's trying to, refinance his mortgage and everything. And then all of a sudden somebody comes along and takes advantage of them and scams them out of 2 years worth of mortgage payments until he has to be, they're foreclosed on and they have to move out. So I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's Pang, P-A-N-G. Listen to that. It kind of opens your eyes to a lot of things about the people who are hungry, the hungry people in America. So those are 2 podcasts I highly recommend. Excuse me. Those are 2 podcasts that I highly recommend, Memory Lane and Pang. Okay, and as always, go ahead, follow me on Twitter at @SWE. Follow me on, or follow the SportsWire on Twitter and Instagram at SportsWire Audio. Email us, sportswireaudio@gmail.com, and then you could go ahead and go to sportswireaudio@gmail.com. www.sportswireaudio.com. Visit the webpage. And quite honestly, it's going to be a good ride. We got a big week of wrestling ahead of us. Raw on Monday. We got NWA on Tuesday, along with Impact. NWA and Impact both on Tuesday. Wednesday's NXT and AEW. Thursday is Crown Jewel and also, I believe, Ring of Honor. Friday is SmackDown. Saturday is MLW. So, big week of wrestling in front of us. So, have fun. Stay positive. And like I said, definitely do your own research. I know I've had to, and I've had to eat crow for a lot of stuff. But have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow right here on the Sports Wire.